This is Ace with RockRevolt magazine. I am here with Emir of Voodoo Terror Tribe. How you doing today, man?
Thank you, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. How are you doing? How is everything over there?
I'm doing all right, man. It's a nice gloomy day here in Kansas. Just enjoying my day like we were talking about here just a second ago. You just got home and you're seeing everything on the news about the old debate tonight, and you just ready to turn off the TV and get through that, huh?
Yeah, it's gloom and doom. We'll see what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Hopefully for the people that are out there and concerned, hopefully they talk about some actual issues tonight and just not trying to kick each other in the butt today, because all they've done is make fun of each other so far in these debates.
Yeah. I mean, the country and the nation has a lot of issues. They need to be solved, and they really have to point out that, and they have to talk about how to solve the issues, not just like a kind of pointing fingers, blaming, and all that. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
Just talk about how to solve these issues. So, in fact, this is a huge country with all kinds of different nationalities, different religions, different cultures in this country living all together, and there are a lot of serious issues. Okay, let's solve them, and they're affecting everybody, from poorest to the richest. So it's like I hope somebody comes up with a plan.
You hit the nail on the head, man. You hit the nail on the head. But one thing that we can all agree on and one thing we all love is music. And you guys are about to release some new music on November 11th. The Sun Shining Cold will be coming out.
Yes. Yeah, it took us a long time actually to, I guess, come up with the release date, because we recorded that a while back. I can say, well, I think we finished recording last year, and now we're finishing this year. So, but you know how these things go.
Oh, absolutely, and especially when the album's being produced by Christian Machado, who with El Nino, and they're out doing work as well. So I'm sure that probably is what kind of took a little bit longer to get that release date out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a busy guy, but he did a phenomenal job producing the album. He helped us a lot. He pushed us a lot. He really pushed our boundaries. Every four member of the band, every individual, every musician in the band, we were pushed by him to the extreme. But then he really got the best out of us. We were even like that. We created things. We did things in the recording that maybe we were thinking we weren't capable of, and it happened. And that's what most of the time that's what producers are for, and it worked. And that's the first time we worked with a real producer side by side. Well, we worked with Billy Grazieri from Biohazard before,
right?
But he wasn't really with us in the during the recording. So it was more like a remotely producing the album. So that's why with Christian was there the whole time. We were in the studio with him a month, every day, almost every day we were with him, in the studio.
Right.
So that's why we're kind of saying this is more professional production with a professional producer.
Right, and I'm sure
it came out great. I mean, we can't wait to share with everybody.
Right, and I'm sure being there side by side in the studio with you guys, Christian was able to hear different things than sharing an audio file, which is probably what you were sending back and forth when you were working with, the Biohazard guys. Christian's actually there in the studio with you listening, so I'm sure that also lends, a different ear, being able to actually see and hear what's going on.
Exactly, yeah. And we also did pre-production with him remotely because he was in California, we were in Jersey, and we did probably a month or two. We went over Skype, using Skype either between me and him directly, or with the entire band going on Skype, doing all these it's conference calls, like the video Skype, just going over the riffs, the melodies, the words, all kinds of pre-production. And then when he came into Jersey just to do the recording with us, we also spent 2 days in our rehearsal studio just with him, again, going over all this pre-production again to kind of finalize the songs, finalize the arrangements before we start recording.
Right on. And like you said, you were out on the road with the El Nino guys, and that's how you got that relationship going. Is that how you guys got Christian to produce this for you?
Well, I mean, the production was before the tour.
Okay.
So we've known Christian actually for a while. Actually, my drummer, he's known him for a long time. Through I guess other musicians, through the musicians El Nino work with. So, and we had a business meeting with Christian maybe even like a few years back, and we we give him our previous music, and he listened to it. He first approached us. He said he wanted to do something serious with us, work, because he didn't want to work on just one song. He wanted to work on a serious record, a full album, not even an EP, because we discussed that too with him. Maybe we should do an EP, because nowadays, albums are kind of, maybe not worthwhile. People focusing on one or two songs, so the rest of your songs are kind of ignored. And then it's but then we decided to, let's make a full album, because we had a lot of songs at the time. And then he said, out of all these songs, let's not kill them. Let's at least pick 10 great songs and record them, put them in the album. So okay, and then we finally came to an agreement, and then we arranged the date and everything. Because again, it wasn't easy. Back in the day, Christian used to live in Jersey. So in the early days of El Nino, and then he kind of moved to California. So he's been in California, and so if he was still in Jersey, and that would have been great. It would have been easier, or even maybe sooner to record all this. But then, he was living in California, so we made arrangements, certain dates, certain time. So he finally came and, did the recording, because we did the recording in Jersey. Then he took the record, all the recording to California and mixed it over there.
Right on. Now, trying to narrow that down and put those, 10 songs that you guys put on this record out of a whole bunch more. Did you guys have some friendly disagreements? Did you guys have some no, I like this song better? How was that narrowing down that track list?
It's not much of a disagreement. I think we mostly agreed on the tracks. The disagreement was more on the arrangement of the songs. Some songs, of course, not all of them. Some parts, some songs, after we decided, okay, these are the 10 songs, we're going to record. So, and then, because he came up with all kinds of different ideas, even though we thought that we finished the song, we arranged the song, we finalized the song, but then, he came up with some great ideas, and it's hard to accept it as a songwriter, because, we wrote it, and then somebody's trying to change it.
Right.
It's not easy to accept that change. But, we went into the recording open-minded as much as possible and flexible, and we took his ideas, and they were great. First, it wasn't easy, because he was giving us a lot of melody ideas on the keyboard, and then we turned them into guitar riffs, and then we kind of even created different chorus parts or verse parts or bridge or pre-chorus in different songs, and at the end, then we were all happy. And so at the end, he was satisfied, we were all satisfied, and now he's proud of it, we're proud of it. So it just takes time to get used to those changes, So, but then, of course, so mainly disagreements were more on the arrangement, but then, they all came out great. We have to be patient.
No, absolutely, absolutely. When you're putting out something like that, like you said, patience is a virtue. It's definitely key in what you guys are trying to do, and you're trying to put out a great product that everybody's going to love. I'm sure having those patience is kind of trying sometimes.
Yeah. That paid off. It was because it was a lot of hours in the studio. I mean, we recorded several EPs and albums before then. But we didn't spend that much time in the studio before, because it wasn't really with a producer. Again, like I told you before, it's we were just, trying to, and also on a limited budget, even though this was on a limited budget as well, but he helped us with that too. He gave us flexibility in the studio.
Right.
So that was also great. So we didn't feel rushed, because usually when you go into a studio, you pay by the hour or by day, and then, you know, like, your time is up. That's it. Like, you have to finish it that week or that between, you know, whatever that period, that time is. So, you know, he didn't do that with us. He kept it as flexible as possible, and we didn't take advantage of that either. So it wasn't like, you know, okay, let's record it, like, you know, so we don't have a deadline. We can record this, finish it in a month. Of course, you know, we can't do that, but at least we didn't feel that rush, so it was good.
Right.
That also really helped us.
Yeah.
And again, you know, we recorded in Il Nino studio in Hoboken, New Jersey, and they have a great studio, Sound Wars Studios in New Jersey. I mean, they've had that studio for many, many years, and Christian and Laz from also Il Nino, they're in charge of the studio, and Laz was also there. He also helped us with different ideas, and he's an incredible musician, incredible bass player, and again from Il Nino. And again, him, you know, seeing us is like meeting us for the first time, you know, looking at us like how much effort we're putting into this and all that. It really kind of built the connection there, you know, like built the connection, relation, and then the friendship. And then when they had the tour set up earlier this year, so, you know, like Christian, when, you know, he mentioned to his bandmates, you know, okay, guys, like, you know, I'd like to take Voodoo Terror Tribe on the road with us. Of course, they didn't say no because they already know us. So, like, you know, it's like, oh, those guys? Yeah. I mean, like, so, you know, it's like but, you know, everything step by step and takes a while.
Yeah, that's awesome, though, man. That's a great story, man. You know, just a couple bands, another band helping another band out, working together. That's a great story, man. That's awesome of those guys that help out as much as they can with you guys. That's great, man. That's stuff you don't hear a lot. You know, that's stuff you don't hear a lot in the industry anymore. But that's fantastic. That's great.
That was awesome. Yeah, exactly. Especially, you know, going on the road with them. It was like their tour. I mean, we did probably half of that. We joined them for the half of that entire tour, and even that was long for us because we didn't tour that long before. We did like tours like maybe 2 weeks here and there, and this was like almost a month for us. We did like 22 dates with them, 22 shows in almost a month, maybe less than a month. And an entire Il Nino crew, all the guys in Il Nino, they were us. You know, they treated us great. We were all like almost like a family traveling together. You know, going on a picnic every day. You know, so it was kind of, we felt it that way. I mean, of course, it was very exhausting. You know, you're driving, you know, to places. I mean,
sure.
Like we are on a low budget. We don't have our own driver or all that. You know how it goes. It's like, you know, it's not like we're not maybe, you know, at a big band level, you know, but it's like, you know, we did our job. We did a good job. They did a great job, and shows were great. So, you know, it really helped us with the exposure, promotion, and the experience. And it was really great.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. Another great thing that you guys are doing, especially you, is you're putting out these playthrough videos. You guys have done one for Cell, and then you just released another one for No Hell Like Home. How did that come about? How was that something you wanted to do?
It's actually, it seems like nowadays it's an ongoing thing. I think maybe recently I noticed from the up and coming new band, because previously, maybe in the last few years, it was more like a guitar lesson thing from most of the bands, like showing the parts of the song or showing how to play the solo and all that, which I'm preparing something like that also. But the playthroughs, it's more like, you know, instead of trying to I think narrate what you're doing on the guitar, you're just playing through and just, you know, just showing how, you know, how the parts go on the guitar. And I think whoever is interested in, you know, like playing that riff or that song, it would be easier to really get the idea from those videos. And they're really cool. And also, again, thanks to Adrenaline PR, it's like pushing us with different kind of promotional tools like these, because they really help. They really help building up the promotion, the exposure. And, you know, today's, especially young guitar players, musicians, they love these things. And it's just, I wish, we could even do more, like do it for maybe every song, or even like we were trying to prepare the same thing for bass, for drum as well. Hopefully we'll do it, as we go, because we just released those 2 songs and the guitar. Actually, I think there will be one more, and then, hopefully, we'll do it on the other instruments. And we're getting a, nice, attention, nice feedback on that. So, I guess they're helpful and they're cool, because I wasn't sure, what kind of feedback I was going to get from those.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cell, just after a week of being out there, it has had over 11,000 views in just the first week of Cell being released. So, yeah, people are definitely digging those, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm so glad, and I'm sure they are mostly young musicians. I mean, or whoever's really, checking them out, and it's like I appreciate people checking it, and that's great. I mean, because we musicians, from other musicians also, we put a lot of effort, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning to anything we do. It's like it's not just rock music. It's not just heavy metal music. It's a piece of art. It's a form of art. So I know like in the United States, in America, it's like everything goes by the numbers, which is kind of sad in this day and age. The numbers of the likes or views on your social media and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to look at it as a piece of art. It's like, and not just some numbers. It's like, oh, look at the numbers on that video, look at the numbers on that song, or on the views on that site and all that. It's like, because in Europe, it's there's still that old school mentality lives, and I wish it's kind of like that here too. But it's like here, we're always fighting with the trend or fighting against the trend.
That is some truth right there. That is well-spoken truth. You're absolutely correct. Everybody is just more up in arms about, like you said, numbers or the trends, whereas it is overseas. And I've talked to a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, man. They're like, dude, Europe, it's a whole nother ballgame. They just love the music. They're passionate about the music, and that's all that really matters. Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, it's all about this. It's like even when it comes to record labels over there in Europe, there's a big difference between an American record label and a European label. They are like still looking at it. Here again, it's all about the numbers. When you have a discussion with a label or a business meeting, the first question they ask you is, okay, what are your numbers? How many did you sell, or how many are you selling? And what's your, social media sites? What are the numbers on those, or views and all that?
Right.
But, in Europe, it's more like, okay, let's hear the music first. Let's look at the art. Let's check this out. If they like it, then they know that, okay, this is a good art. So let's work on this. Let's have a business plan, marketing plan, and let's see what we can do with this art. And it's supposed to be like that. I am the artist. Record label is the businessman. Like a record label is the salesman. I am not the salesman. I am the artist. This is the problem here. All the time. They look at you like you have to do everything. If I am doing everything, which we are doing everything anyway to begin with, so then why do I need the record label?
That's put perfectly. I mean, that is just put perfectly. It's right. Like, hey, man, listen to the music first before you ask me how many likes I have on my Facebook. Why don't you listen to what I have to do? That, man, you put that just spot on perfectly. That was well spoken. Very well spoken. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I wish everyone understood like you do.
Yeah. No, that was amazing. That was, that's one of those glass shattering type things where you're like, holy shit, you're absolutely right. Why don't you listen to my music first before you care about my social media stats? That is,
because I would be okay with a negative feedback or negative comment if someone, even a record executive or someone at a higher level in music business, if someone like that telling me that, you know what, your music is not good enough, or your record is not good enough, or your art, your track, your single is not good enough, then you know what? Okay, I'll take it and I'll go home and work on it. I'll go back to my studio with my band and I'll do something better. I'll work on it. But also I'd appreciate if you could tell me what is not good about it.
Right.
And so I could work on it, because you usually, I'm just saying from the experience, and probably you heard it from other bands too, when you, again, talk to a record executive or manager or somebody, if their response is negative, their answer usually, this is not what we're looking for. Okay, what are you looking for? It's almost like if you tell me what you're looking for, maybe I could give that to you. Or I could work on it and fix what is wrong or make it better.
Absolutely.
But you never get these answers. So it's that kind of weird business loop in this business.
Absolutely. It's all about money. It's all about dollar signs.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, that's why when you look at Europe, you see that all kinds of old school metal, old school genres like black metal, or atmospheric goth metal, doom metal, grindcore, they still live. They still exist. Nobody questioned them. Hey, why are you still making a music like from the 80s or from the 90s? No, they don't care about that. They don't even try to name it. They don't try to put it in some kind of genre box. They just look at it. You know what? Yeah, it's black metal, but it's awesome. Or it's goth metal, or it's some kind of power metal. Sounds like Judas Priest from the 80s, but it's awesome. We can still sign this, or we can still distribute this. We can still market this. Because it's their job to find the right place to market it. But in U.S., when you come here, no, this is old. You have to do something like that goes today.
Yeah.
What, I'm going to change my style because of the trends or whatever? It's like whatever is out there. It's a form of music. It's a form of art. Is it good or not? Don't try to put it in some kind of category. Don't try to categorize it. Just tell me, is it good or bad? Would you listen to it? Or would you give it to your friends? Would you recommend it? That's the whole question. That's why over there, it's we're sometimes people in shock when they see on a YouTube video some Norwegian black metal band playing to 20,000 people in an arena. How is that possible? Because they respect the art. It's not because it's black metal or whatever. They just respect the art. It's an art, and they go for it. It doesn't have to be Metallica playing to 20,000 people all the time.
Right, yeah.
But here, yeah, it's a different story.
Yeah, people are more open-minded. That's what it really boils down to. They're open-minded to the art, the different, types of music. I don't even know what half of those goddamn genres mean when they start breaking everything down into different categories of metal. It really kind of gives you a headache.
It is. It's funny. Today, almost everything is on the same category. They call it adult rock or alternative rock, alternative metal, and all that. It's and then we end up using the same terms because you have to use some kind of name, some kind of genre, like when you're submitting your music to iTunes or Spotify or whatever. If you don't do it, they're gonna put it in some genre anyway. So it's better you do it so that they don't put it under something completely stupid.
Right, like mathcore. Mathcore. I'm pretty sure I saw you guys listed as something called mathcore. What the fuck is mathcore metal? I have no idea. No clue.
Me neither. Yeah.
I'm like, mathcore?
I saw somewhere. I think they put one of our old stuff. I think under punk core, punk metal. We have nothing. We're not even close to be anything to do with punk. It's or punk rock or whatever.
It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious.
It is. But we don't, we're just talking about it, but we don't care about these things. It is what it is. So it's we don't care. It's just, another weird part of the industry. So that's why, this album, especially The Sun Shining Cold, it came out very original. It came out even original for us, because it's not even, we compare to our other records, our other songs, our other, creations that we did. It's even different, way different than them. So, which is we're happy about. Even same thing, Christian mentioned the same thing. This came out completely something different. But again, that's what happens in the studio or when you're done. You kind of realize, okay, so what is this now? What are we going to name this? Or what kind of genre are we going to put this in? I don't know. It's really, there's no need for that. Let the people name it or let them put it in whatever genre they want to put it in.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. So, what do you guys got going on this Saturday? Looks like you guys are playing Hallowfest 2016.
Oh yeah, that's a great festival in Delaware. This is the second year actually. Yeah, we're playing that. Our very good friend Steve from Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is an old band, probably you know from the 80s, I guess. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure exactly. They've been around for a while, and Steve is the original member still in the band, and he puts this festival. He did it last year, and he did it again this year. And you know, we're good friends, and we're playing with a bunch of other great bands. And it's kind of like a Halloweenish kind of festival.
Right on.
It's like a 2-day, you know, all day going on and all that. You know, bands usually from Delaware, Maryland, I think Jersey, maybe even New York. Yeah. So it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. Well, Emir, before we get you out of here to enjoy your night, so you can go watch the debate. Don't yell at me. How can everybody find? I know you can pre-order the Sun is Shining Cold on Bandcamp. Where else is it going to be available so people can hear this new music you're putting out?
You know, it's going to be available everywhere. It's going to be available, you know, all the regular digital outlets, you know, like digital stores like iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play. It's going to be available everywhere, and it's going to be available also on CD Baby. The Bandcamp. And, you know, like anyone can go to our website, voodooterrortribe.com. They can get the link from there. And they don't even have to search.
Right on, man. Well, when you guys get back out on the road, hopefully you get through this Kansas City area. You and I are going to drink some beers, all right?
We'd love to, yeah, because we were there during that tour, and, you know, we had a great time. And, you know, we're hoping that it's not this year, because this year is kind of done, but, you know, hopefully we'll hit the road again early next year, and we'll definitely come to your area.
Right on.
And we'll meet in person.
Absolutely.
We'd like to meet in person, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, man. Well, you go have a good rest of the night, bud, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a good night, too.
All right, man. Bye-bye.